Welcome to the training video on fulfillment order recovery, part of a series of training videos introducing the AIB management console. Now, the fulfillment order recovery is a feature of the AIB management console that is targeted well and truly at the ASG community. Through those features of the AIB management console, it is possible to perform repairs for fulfillment orders who have stalled or failed in some way. So you start off from the Orders tab, and I'm assuming that you have covered the introduction to the Orders tab that applies to all users. This video will focus specifically on the fulfillment order repair features that are available within the orders section of the user interface. So I have pre-selected a customer order. If I go to the fulfillment orders, I can select a fulfillment order absolutely as usual. And if you are an ASG person, i.e. your role is either application support group, as shown at the top of the screen, or system administration, as I'm currently logged in as, then you actually have a set of additional features that are highlighted for use to you. So it's important to say that not all users will have these features visible. It is only the system administration role and the application support group role that these features are lit up for. So the first thing to note is that there is a restart button. Now, the restart button causes the fulfillment order to go back to its initial state and restart again. Now, again, this is not a random action. This is an action that is to be taken under the guidance of the development team for a specific repair, or if there is a known and systematic fault within the system's end-to-end and a standard repair strategy involving restart has been defined, those are the times that you would use the restart for a fulfillment order. Now, for safety reasons, the restart button is not enabled, so I can click on it and nothing happens. It is not until I follow the instructions in the tip here and click this that you can see that the restart button reappears red, and red for sort of danger, because this is a big step to take. And when I press this, the fulfillment order in question will be restarted. Namely, irrespective of what its current state is, it will be moved to its initial state and it will start progressing again. Once you've hit the restart button, and I will not do it in this environment, this toggles off again so that you revert back to a safe situation, namely with the restart button disabled. So that's one aspect of fulfillment order repair, where the whole fulfillment order re-executes again from its very start state. There is a second feature which allows you to edit the fulfillment order to all intents and purposes, and that is enabled by hitting the padlock here on the order details panel, and again highlighted by the tip shown here. Now, if I hit that, you can see that parts of the screen go red, and again, editing a fulfillment order is an operation that great care has to be exercised, and so the red colour is there to signal the fact that you're no longer in a read-only mode. You are actually engaging with the fulfillment order and changing its behaviour by the actions that you perform next. If you decide that you no longer want to do that, well, then you just hit the padlock again closed, and everything reverts back to the green state, and The checkbox here to restart the fulfillment order is switched off, and you're no longer interacting with the fulfillment order. Essentially, you're back in the safety of read-only. But to illustrate this feature, let's unlock again, and there's a few things I can do. I can change the status of the fulfillment order, fairly random statuses here. And once I've done that, I can submit. So effectively, AIB receives a message that says, yes, this fulfillment order is now quite randomly in excluded, or perhaps let's make it a bit more realistic. Let's say completed and substatus all line items complete, for example. If I want to artificially complete that fulfillment order, I can set its status and substatus as indicated here, and press the submit button, and that will occur. I can further update the error code error description if that is needed, and again the submit button submits that update. It is best to do all of your updates in one hit, so don't update the status, hit submit, update the substatus, hit submit. No, configure the full update, be it an update for status, substatus, error code and error description, and then hit the submit button. As you can see here, the current status and substatus of the fulfillment order are shown above for reference, and the drop-down lists that appear below those are the target status and substatus that you want to achieve with the update. As well as updating the fulfillment order status, substatus, error code and error description, it is possible to update the fulfillment order items. Now you can do those one at a time by selecting those and then changing the fulfillment order item status and substatus from the drop downs here. The customer service ID can be changed from its current undefined value to some defined value. The commitment date can be set, and notice that commitment date is commitment date and time. So select the day and then select the time and update that date in that way. So just for reference, we can update the completion date in the same way. Notice that the date picker includes time as well now, and it's not sufficient just to enter the date. You have to click on the time as well for that date picker to close down and reveal your selection. So as seen, you can update the status of the fulfillment order item, the substatus, the customer service ID, the commitment date, completion date, error code, error description. By clicking on the product attributes here, if the product attributes, if there are any product attributes, and this order item doesn't have any, so perhaps we can look at one that does. So let me select viewing cards. If I select viewing cards and open up the product attributes, you can see this actually has product attributes, and the current value of the product attribute, for example card type com, is shown at the top, and I'm allowed to set a new value for it, card reference, set a new value for it, etc. So I can update these product attributes as well. For legibility, I can close that down when I'm finished, and I can add that to the update list. And put simply, I can visit all of the fulfillment order items one at a time and make absolute and unique updates to them. Firstly, by having them appear in the top section here, selecting some update and adding it to the list at the bottom. If I'm no longer happy with one of the updates, it is entirely possible to remove the update. I can remove all updates and get back to where I was before, And rather than following this one at a time update of fulfillment order items, I can decide to add all of them to the update list. And one of the advantages of doing that is that it is possible to use um, to force all of the fulfillment order items to have the same values for example, the status. So I can set them all to um, provisioning. Okay, they're currently open. If I set provisioning at the top here, you can see that provisioning appears for each of the um, fulfillment order items. If I set it to failed, they all appear as failed. So this is a convenient way of updating all of the fulfillment order items in one hit. The same applies to the substatus. You can see it does not make sense to update the customer service ID for all of them, so you're forced to update the customer service ID one at a time, X, Y, Z, etc. The commitment date, however, I can set for all of them. Ditto completion date, error code. As you can see, those are synchronized to all of the fulfillment order items. I can further update the product attributes if I can rediscover them, and here they are. Obviously, those are not synchronized across all fulfillment order items because, in general, fulfillment order items do not share the same product attributes. But once I have actually synchronized the fulfillment order item features that I want to, like status, substatus, etc., I can second pass them in the list and update the product attributes should I need to. And at this point, I can submit my edit, okay, and I can combine the update of fulfillment order items with the updates of the fulfillment order itself and submit a single update. Again, I will not choose to do that in this environment, but that is the nature of updating fulfillment orders. Thank you for your attention, and look forward to speaking to you again on a future video.